really happy for our guys. These guys have been working, did a good job, I thought, handling the bye week. Really had 2 weeks to prepare for this one, and I think it showed up out there. Just a team win. You can talk about all three phases contributing to this one. And so was really, really happy with them. A lot of, too, about the response, right? First half, had some opportunities, but we go in at halftime with a little bit of a lead, but you knew Iowa was going to come out and answer with the culture, that type of team they have, and they did. They pushed us throughout the second half, got it within one score a couple of times, and the response from this group was huge. And then, Jonathan Kim, that thing is critical. First half, banging those through momentum-wise, had some other big kicks in the second half, and so anytime you make 6 field goals like that, I don't think we punted the entire night, only turned it over one time. The efficiency offensively was huge. Keeping the ball out of their hands. I think the time in possession was almost 2-1. And so we're just really going back to proud of them because that's a good football team. They're well coached. Coach Ferentz, utmost respect for him and what he does and what he continues to do. And so happy to, on homecoming in front of another great crowd, to pull out a win.
Jonathan, I was wondering, you said you guys practiced once last week on Wednesday with a lot of emphasis on the point of attack. What did you think of your guys' performance both ways on that tonight, slowing down an All-American and then obviously the rushing you guys were able to generate with multiple guys? Yeah,
really pleased with it on both sides. Think about defensively, that back is really good, and that front did a great job of getting off the field early. I do think it helps us defensively against a front that is that physical, that our rotation, again, defensive line, we are rotating, multiple guys are playing, staying fresh. Flip it on the offensive side, it allowed us to convert and continue to move drives, not going backwards. We were really happy for that offensive front in particular because they haven't played to the level that they want to, and I thought they did tonight.
I'm wondering, how much did you see in-game growth with your offense between that first half and the second half to start pushing things in, and how close is this to what you envision the offense to look like?
Yeah, I thought we grow throughout the game. Just like this season, we're continuing to try to grow and improve. To us, finishing the red zone in the second half, getting touchdowns was huge. And those guys kept on chipping away. And it really, the balance was what I was really pleased with, throwing it and then running it, being able to move the ball in both facets.
Coach, throughout the season, you've talked about growth, you talked about development. I just want to say that I'm highly impressed that you take that approach with your athletes. But even up here today, you could see there was a lot of talk about the growth and about the balance. You had some high-profile recruits in the building. I just want you to kind of touch on this direction and this growth and the support you're getting from Michigan State to kind of take your time pushing the gas down, but you're also getting quick results as well, which is tough to balance.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I do think that football is a game of development and growth, especially at the college age, and we want to be all about doing that. That doesn't mean that we're just sitting here not with a sense of urgency. We're not sitting here with a ton of patience, continuing to push these guys to gain some confidence, build some skill over and over doing similar things. And that's why you even look at the bye week, there wasn't a panic or overreaction. All of a sudden we got to throw out the offense and we're going to put something new in. No, we know what the type of players we have. We keep pushing those guys, and they continue with the work ethic that they've had. We'll find some success, and it showed up tonight.
Coach, the run game looked really rejuvenated today. What did you see from Carolyn Shadams and Nate Carter in the off?
Yep.
Carolyn's lines in the offseason. How did you see from them and them growing?
I think we got a nice 1-2 punch of both those guys carrying it. We got confidence in both of them. We got confidence too. I think a few of them had catches out of the backfield. It does start up front. The 5-0 linemen, tight ends are a factor in that. You saw a little bit more also in the run game with Aiden being an option to pull the ball, and he did a nice job with decisions on that, and when he did carry it.
Jonathan, can you speak to just sort of the importance of this week when you do get that bye? You talked about confidence out in Oregon and just sort of worrying about that a little bit, and when you see this, and not everybody comes out of a bye week and does this, and sort of how essential that is to the season moving forward. And were you relieved? I mean, when you see that?
Well, I think it speaks to a little bit that I think we got some genuine belief in this locker room of the approach and how they're going. You lose 3 straight games, and then you got a week to really just think about it. I think it speaks to kind of the culture that these guys, player-led, want to build around here, and they have been bought in and going and still motivated. And I looked at the week of practice, felt the same way. And then again tonight, which I think I was a good football team now. And so you're looking at these numbers and what we were able to do. I think it speaks a lot to the buy-in, the culture that's player-led around here.
Jonathan, was there anything that when you look at how you guys ran the ball tonight that you can trace back to the bye week when you guys had some time to self-evaluate things, whether it was play calling or simplifying or anything with the approach that today's output could be traced back to sort of that stuff?
Well, yeah, I mean, I go into a little bit of scheme of, you saw some more emphasis maybe playing out of the shotgun than under the center. Not that we just abandoned that. That showed up. Don't want to give all out our secrets. We still got 5 regular season games left. But there was definitely some adjustments, some more emphasized than others, style of scheme that we did tonight.
Jonathan, staying with the theme of growth, mental toughness for your team. Can you talk about the growth from week 1 to now, and how much did winning the bye week within the week play a role in today?
Yeah, again, I think about the game tonight of the responses that needed to take place, especially in the second half. I going all the way back to Boston College, had opportunities, had some lead, Boston, we couldn't finish the thing, we couldn't respond the way we wanted to finish it. I think that shows some growth. You're always learning too. I think early about in the season, first, call it 4 or 5 games, you're always learning about your team. That doesn't stop. But I think we've learned that we're very capable if we can play some disciplined football. There's some genuine belief in what we got going, that it shows up tonight.
There's obviously a long week ahead with the rivalry. I guess when you approach a rivalry game historically in your program, how quickly do you turn the page? How quickly do you try and keep that 24-hour rule, or let it change when you've got a rivalry? You can kind of tighten it up quickly.
We're going to stay pretty consistent to our approach tomorrow, because we do. We're all about learning from this, what we've seen, correcting and improving. And then, we'll flip the page pretty quickly for next week. And it's one of the best things about college football is playing in rivalry games, and this game means a ton.
Yeah, Jonathan, how much was this game, and you mentioned the time of possession being 2-1, how much was this game the best example yet of complementary football?
Yeah, by far the best, I think, across the board. I mean, I look at the 7 we've played now, 7 games, a complement around both sides, getting some stops, possessing. Love to finish again with some touchdowns, but again, credit to Iowa. And then I even on the special teams side, I mean, I know Jonathan Kim, all those numbers, these guys were good. We had some issues on kickoff coverage we got to get better at, and I was good at that. But all 3 phases, I thought, complemented each other tonight well.
And with the run game, I mean, obviously, the zone blocking, it's a little bit more of a nuanced scheme. How much is it a growth kind of scheme where you have to kind of just develop week to week, and do you feel like it's kind of maybe hitting its stride at this point?
Well, it did tonight. I do think the scheme, because you're looking at different looks, pictures, the more reps guys have gotten next to each other, we're starting to build that continuity with the group up front. And it wasn't all zone tonight. We had some other wrinkles, but it looked as good as it's obviously looked all year.
Speaking of the run game, we had we saw a lot of rotation through the running backs, including seeing true freshmen Mekhi Frazier and Brandon Tolis get carries tonight. Was that by design already at the start, or what was the?
That was designed tonight because of their growth, their development. We felt like they have earned some opportunities to get out there as a nice change up. Some of them, their skill sets, they were in on particular packages and plays. So, and both of them are contributing on special teams already. And so after another week of the bye and this week, we felt confident to give them a touch or two.
Okay, we'll go Jack, Stephen, Jim.
Jonathan, other than the long one, Caleb had 13 rushes for 23 yards. Can you talk about the tackling?
Yep. Gang tackling. We had to do it as a team. Those guys needed to, fit the runs, but we got to get more than one guy to the ball. That guy's a big time back. I thought we did a good job of the multiple guys getting there. Starts with the D line up front, creating some havoc and tackling them low, because we did throughout the night. Besides one run, which was going back to this, that was a huge run to get within a score, and for us to respond the way we did was huge.
Jonathan, going off that a little bit, a lot of their defensive guys this week talked about being excited for this style of game, knowing what they were going to present in the run game. Mm-hmm. To see them have the success, what was it like just to see them, the people, to see that success play out.
Yeah, and you're just kind of happy for them because those guys have been working. But it is a physical brand. We want to be known as to be able to play that style of physical football. Did a good job. Starts up front, but even I look at some of the secondary guys coming up, and Chuck makes another big time tackle. That was a one-on-one tackle. He got on the edge, and Chuck cuts him down, and so we played some good team defense.
Jim and then Aiden, you're up. Jim.
Yeah, with Aiden Childs and his decision-making, Iowa is known for causing turnovers, interceptions. What do you think about Childs and decisions and discretion? I think he goes 22 out of 30 tonight.
Yep. Besides the one, which was, again, a third down and longer, where they disguised and he moved his feet. Besides that one, pretty good. I mean, we got the intentional grounding. We're trying to throw screen. He's throwing the dirt versus throwing it out of bounds. But outside of that, I thought he was lights out. Recognized some coverage. I think it was like 2nd and 19. And then he's getting Marsh on the sideline. He did a great job of, more or less manipulating the corner, who's in a cloud picture, going low to high. He played, in my mind, his best complete game tonight.
That one is a cover 2 hole. He reads that one.
Yeah.
Is that what that was?
Mm-hmm.
And then the 3rd and 3, not Childs, but the picking up with that toss sweep on that same drive to go in and put it away, the 3rd and 3. What do you think about that?
Really, we had 2 plays called. Aiden's going to get us in the right play, and wanted, whether we're going to go downhill or toss it. We were I think that's at the spot, if I'm not mistaken, the field goal makes it more or less an 8-point game. We call it 2 points, and so that's why we felt like the run, and Aiden got us in the right play. Well blocked. Nate gets it.
Coach, when you're playing a tough team like Iowa, your top players have to play their best, and it seemed like that was the case tonight. What does that say about your team?
Yeah, you do. Our top players, whether they're seniors or freshmen on this group, we got a mix of all of it. You want guys to show up in big games, but again, I go back to this team effort that we had from top to bottom. Really, really proud of the group. Thanks, guys.